Hey everyone, I'm Kyle from Roll for Adventure, and I'm here to talk to you about what you're going to need to play D&D in 2025. Let's get started. I've been playing Dungeons & Dragons for about 5 years, give or take, and I understand how intimidating it is when you first get into it. So hopefully this video can help you. So when you first start out playing D&D, you're going to think you're going to want to buy all this stuff, and you may want to, and if you can, 100% go ahead, but it's not necessary. All the stuff you're going to gain over time as you play for a few years. Alright, let's talk about the first thing you're going to need when starting to play D&D. So, it may be a bit obvious and a bit fun to say this, but you're going to need friends. You're going to need a group of people to come together and play the game. So, if you're first starting out, it's most likely going to be that you're going to play DM, the Dungeon Master. The one that creates a narrative for the players to follow and sets up the scenes, allowing the players to make their choices and options that further impacts the story. So you're going to want to get a group of friends that hopefully love the fantasy genre or already play D&D or just want to give it a go. Once you've done that, you'll be able to set up a group and begin playing. Maybe after playing for a bit and DMing, someone else will want to give it a go. But someone's going to have to start. Now you may wonder what a good number of friends is to start playing D&D. I recommend 3 to 5. That's a good number so that you can have interaction between players, but not too much that the turns take too long or that initiative counter might get a little hard to keep track of. Every group is very different from each other. You might watch groups like us at Roll for Adventure play a very serious, story-driven, roleplay-heavy type of game. Or you might watch people like Legend of Verdus who are very funny, roleplay-heavy, wacky voices. However, your group might not enjoy role-playing. They might enjoy other things. So make sure to get the group together and discuss what they might enjoy in a story or in Dungeons & Dragons. It's all about having fun, so just get together, come up with a game plan, and get started. The first thing you're going to want to buy when you're getting into Dungeons & Dragons is a Dungeons & Dragons starter set. Now, this comes with a few things that are very essential when you're first getting started. It comes with a pre-made adventure. This allows the DM to understand how campaigns are written and what's behind the screen. It also comes with a player's rulebook. This gives the rules on basic things like attacking, how stats work, things like that. It also comes with a set of dice, and sometimes it comes with a DM screen, which we'll get into later. It also comes with a starter rule set. This is so the players understand the rules and the basics before playing the game. The adventure book that comes in the starter set normally takes the players from about level 3 to level 5. You also get your first set of dice, which is essential for playing D&D, as well as some pre-made character sheets that make sure the players can just dive straight in without worrying about the mechanics of creating a character just yet. This is the first thing you're going to want to buy when you're first getting into D&D. It's the Players Handbook. It goes over all the essentials from character creation, magic, combat, and even how to interact with the world and the characters within that world. This was the only book that I owned for about 2 to 3 years when I was first playing D&D. Now, you can also get the information that are within these pages online, like at places like D&D Beyond, which allow you to create your characters using their website, or even purchase these books online to have them on your PC. This is the only book that I owned for a long time when I first started getting into D&D, and I stand by it. It has all the essentials you need to play. If you can't find this book locally, you could also go to D&D Beyond and buy it there. The tools that D&D Beyond have are great for veterans and newcomers alike. You're able to make your characters on there, check the rules, add items. There's even a whole list of homebrew things, but make sure to ask your DM before you talk about homebrew. If you're looking into buying an official D&D rule set, make sure to double check you're getting the right one. D&D is currently going in between 2 versions. It's got the 2014 5th edition and the 2024 5th edition. So there's a bit of a process changing as it's updating into its new version. So make sure if you're going to play the 2014 5th edition, you get all of the books that are from the same one. Or else you might get confused when some of the rules aren't adding up. Character sheets. To start playing D&D, you're going to need a character, and for that character, you're going to need a character sheet. So you can print these character sheets online or get pre-made character sheets from your starter set. You can actually go to D&D Beyond and create your character there using the character tools. You can then print it out. You could also go to Google and print out a blank character sheet and fill it out following the Players Handbook rules. Character sheets hold all the information you need to know about your character, from their health, armor class, or the languages they know, to stats and skills. It's so you can tell how strong your character is, or how smart they are, or how quick they are on their feet. All your stats take away or add things to your roll. So if you're a strong character, you're going to get a little extra boost when opening that large metal door you see in front of you, and beyond it you see a large towering automaton. Sorry about that. got lost thinking about last session. The Dungeon Master Guide. If you're taking on the role of DM or Dungeon Master, this is a great tool to have. It helps with inspiration and really helps with world building. The Dungeon Master Guide has a lot of details and can help flesh out your world. It also has a lot of advice on unique situations that may happen in your sessions. Now, it's not essential to get this, but if you're a DM, it's a really good tool to have, and I would recommend it. The Monster Manual here is great for people that really love creatures or just want to get inspired by the creatures. It helps you sometimes figure out what you want to throw at the party or something really cool that might surprise them. It's good to note the Monster Manual does keep all the stats of the creatures within its pages. So this means that when you run them, you'll have everything you need to run them. It is noted you can also buy this online at D&D Beyond, as well as you can Google some of the creatures and they might pop up. Now for the fun part, we're going to talk about everything that's on the table. First, we're going to start with the DM screen or Dungeon Master screen. This is a screen that walls off the DM from the players, allowing them to make secret rolls or to keep little stat blocks that they don't want the players seeing just yet. Most DM screens hold a lot of information on them, like sicknesses, poison effects, all those things that DMs are going to need to check or double check quite often. You can even grab sticky notes and write your own ones to put on there, reminders of things that you may forget easily or things you really want to hone in on. One of the first things you're going to want/need is a grid. This helps with placement of creatures, characters, or even objects within combat. There are multiple levels to something like using a grid. The first one, which I used in my first ever D&D sessions, was you can grab any type of poster, maybe your favorite show or anime, flip it over to the back, and draw on it with whiteboard markers. This allows you to create your grid or even draw houses or things on the map. A level above that would be placing TV down on the table and downloading maps online and playing them while you have your minis on top of it. You can see us do this quite a lot actually at Roll for Adventure on RGTM Adventures. Or you can get really fancy with it and use Dwarven Forge terrain. This is 3D terrain that you can place around that really brings your scenes to life. For us at Roll for Adventure, everything you see us use during our sessions is all 3D printed and painted by our very own DM Jacob at Painted for Combat. Make sure to go see him make some of his stuff over at his channel. You get to see him paint awesome things like this or even create new terrain pieces that can come apart and come together. It's awesome, I promise you. Instead of using amazing 3D printed minis like these, you could also use dice or any type of token to identify where your characters are during combat. That's how I used to play in D&D when I first started. Just the back of a poster, a little whiteboard marker for the grid, as well as dice scattered around as the minis. The next level above this is paper cutouts. You can draw art of your characters or purchase art of your characters like these, and then print them out and put a stand on them. This is a really cost-effective way of creating minis, as well as it really brings up the immersion of your scenes, because you're legit just looking at your official art of them. It's great. We used to do this when we first started playing. Now, if you're really looking to go the extra mile, plastic minis are the way to go. There are lots of options when it comes to purchasing them or 3D printing them. I'll list a few places that you can buy minis. You have Dungeons & Dragons official minis from WizKids. You have Dwarven Forge. You also have some Warhammer minis that could work for D&D. Just note that the sizes may differ between those. If we're talking about D&D minis, we can't forget to talk about Hero Forge. Hero Forge is an amazing website where you can create all your D&D characters on there. They have preset clothes, different poses you can make. You can even customize your pose and facial expression. It's an amazing tool to have. I love just using it on my days off and having fun with creating random characters. Now, you're also able to purchase those and get them shipped to you. Or you can buy the STL files and 3D print them if you have a 3D printer or a friend that has one. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that the essentials when you start playing D&D. The Players Handbook, a grid and something to represent the players during combat. That could be dice to paper cutouts to 3D printed minis. Like I mentioned before, you don't need to purchase all these things to play D&D. However, when you start playing and you and your friends start getting really hooked and you're just waiting on the edge of your seat for the next session, that's when you're going to want to start getting all these little things. They happen just over time. They happen naturally. Or if you have the money to purchase it all, then fully go ahead. I really love stories where the characters' backstories really leak into the story and allow for players to make choices that could alter the path of that story or even further campaigns down. Now, every group is different, so make sure to keep that in mind when coming up with a story that you're all going to be in. A great thing to note is you're not writing a script. You're creating a scene for the players to interact with, even create their own decisions and interact within that world. D&D is a collaborative environment. It's all about creating a story together, and that's why I love D&D. And I think that's why most people enjoy D&D. So just remember that when you're creating the story. That's everything you're going to need to get started with Dungeons & Dragons this year. If you have any questions or need any more tips, don't be afraid to leave a comment. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to keep up with our campaign or any more videos we might do like this in the future. Keep adventuring.